Let's talk about it. Woo! Let's talk about it. WWE SummerSlam Night 1 took place yesterday, August 2nd. So let's talk about it. So Drewski, there was a video package, and I thought that was pretty cool to hype up SummerSlam. And then we had Cardi B. She was the host of WWE SummerSlam. She came out. She said, "Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Who do you want to see? Are you excited to see Roman Reigns? How do you feel?" Woo, woo. That was like maybe 4 minutes, and then she left. And we didn't, well, we saw her a few times again, in the audience, but she didn't say anything else. So I'm like, okay, good. That is good. And then we had the first match, and it was a banger. It was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. In this match, it went for 21 minutes and 10 seconds. And I enjoyed this match. We had some spots. We had Roman Reigns. He did a dive on the outside of the ring, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Because he came close to hitting his head. And then also Bronson Reed, he did a suicide dive as well. I'm like, these guys are going crazy. And then, Bronson Reed, with his slams, and Jey Uso with his kicks and all that kind of stuff. And Braun Breaker, just looking, just dominating with spears, with clotheslines. And Roman Reigns, he was just doing his thing as well. And this was just really, it was a lot that was going on, but it was a really fun and just exciting match. And so pretty much towards the end, also we got the 1D from Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was good. And then Braun Breaker, he was about to hit Jey Uso with the spear, but Roman Reigns pushed Jey Uso out of the way. And as a result, Roman Reigns took the spear from Breaker. Then after that, Jey Uso super kicked Braun Breaker out of the ring, and he did some move to Bronson Reed. And then after that, he hit Bronson Reed with a super kick as well. And then he hit the Uso splash, and he got the 1, 2, 3. So I thought that was a really good match and just some really good action, like I said before. And then the next match, it was for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And of course, it was, Miss Flair. We had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. This was a fun match, and at the beginning of the match, the fans were not really, they were not really into this match, but towards, when Alexa Bliss, when she got in, that's when the audience got more into the match. And I thought this was a fun match. And of course, as we all know, Alexa Bliss accidentally hit Charlotte Flair. So I'm thinking, okay, we got that tension right there. What's going to happen? And then towards the end, Alexa Bliss had, she had Roxanne in her finisher getting ready to set her up. And then Flair and Alexa Bliss, they looked at each other, and Flair hit she hit what's her name, Rodriguez, with the big boot, and Alexa Bliss hit her finisher, and she got the 1, 2, 3. So I thought that was good, and I am digging this tag team, of Flair and Alexa Bliss. So just some really good stuff. Some really good stuff. And then after that, we had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This match was okay. It went for a little over 8 minutes. I'm over this program. I want them to move on. Sami Zayn won, and I think it's time to move on from Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn. I don't want to see them wrestle again. I like Sami Zayn. I know a lot of people, they really want Karrion Kross to get a push. I'm not, I guess with Karrion Kross, I guess, there's something, they can definitely do something with Karrion Kross, but I've just never been really crazy about his matches. I don't know. So we shall see what's going to happen with Karrion Kross. Is he going to sign his contract with WWE because his contract is coming up soon? All right, and then after that, we had the the WWE Women's Championship match, and that was with Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. This match went for 7 minutes and 5 seconds. It was a short match, and this was a decent match. It wasn't bad. They got to the point. Jade Cargill, she was setting up Tiffany for the Jaded on, on the turnbuckle. I'm like, okay, so Tiffany is just going to climb the ropes and she is going to assist Jade with letting her hit her move. That's it was just kind of funny, like the setup. And then from there was a reversal from that. And yeah, did she reverse that? Yeah, she did reverse that. And then at the end, Tiffany, she hit her moonsault and she got the 1, 2, 3. So yep, not bad, not bad. Okay, and then we got another tag team match: Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Mr. Jelly Roll. This match, it went for 17. It went for a little over 17 minutes, and it was just just a lot that was going on. With Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, they were beating up Jelly Roll, and then we had that. Finally, we get Randy Orton in the ring, and then we had that spot where Jelly Roll was on the announce table and Logan Paul hit him with a big splash. I thought Jelly Roll was going to move out of the way. That's what I was thinking. And then, we get not Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul beating on Randy Orton. It looks like Jelly Roll, he's out of it. He's not going to be able to make a comeback because of that devastating move that he just took. It's not possible. The guy's out of it. The staff is walking, they're getting ready to walk Jelly Roll to the back of the ring. I mean, to the backstage because he can't compete anymore. The guy's exhausted. He is injured and all that kind of stuff. And Jelly Roll's looking back, and then, it was just kind of funny. Of course, everyone knew that Jelly Roll was going to come back. And then Jelly Roll was like, I'm not going to give up. Let me get back in that ring and let me help Randy Orton. I'm like, oh my goodness, are they really going to have Randy and Jelly Roll beat Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul? And towards the end, of course, Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, they won. Drew McIntyre, I think, yeah, he hit Jelly Roll with the Claymore, and Logan Paul hit the frog splash, and they got the 1, 2, 3. So I'm thinking, like, thank goodness, because I'm like, I don't want these guys to lose the match. And with Jelly Roll, this match, you know what? This match was entertaining, and just to see Jelly Roll, because I'm like, okay, how is he going to do? Is he going to mess up big time? How are they going to execute this? And Jelly Roll, he, took a few bumps, he did a few clotheslines, a few moves, and you could tell Jelly Roll was in that box, 1, 2, a step to the left, step to the right, he was staying right in that square box, when he was doing the move. So yeah, so it was fun. And then we had the main event, CM Punk versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match went for 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes, 30 minutes and 20 seconds. And, the guys, they started off, started out the match filling each other out, with some submissions, some strikes. And after that, pretty much Gunther dominated. And I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to be a more competitive match, but Gunther dominated. He was putting a beating on CM Punk. CM Punk was out of it. It looked like, Gunther, that he was going to win the match because CM Punk, he was exhausted. He was out of it. Gunther really punished him. Of course, we got the little, comeback from CM Punk, and CM Punk hit his finisher, got the 1, 2, 3. And then after that, CM Punk is celebrating. He finally did it. His first championship since he returned to the WWE. And then Rollins, we hear his music. Da, da, oh, boom, boom, whoa. He comes out with the what was he with the with a with the brace on, with the cane or the walker, whatever you want to call it, crutches, whatever you came out with. And he stared at CM Punk. He turned around. He turned around like he was walking back to to the backstage. And then after that, he turned back around, looked at CM Punk, and he ran down to the ring. And he hit CM Punk with the curve. He hit CM Punk with the briefcase, and he hit him with the curb stomp. and he got the 1, 2, 3. And Rollins is the new champion. He's the new World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff. And the match with CM Punk and Gunther, I liked the match. I thought it was a good match. Like I said, I wanted more from CM Punk, but I guess the way that they set this up is that CM Punk took a beating. He took a beating, but he was still able to defeat Gunther. But then with Rollins coming out to cash in, CM Punk was out of it. He was exhausted. There was nothing that he could do. So I like how they did that. I know a lot of people were saying that, they weren't really crazy about the match and that it was slow and that was boring. I get that, but for the work that they did in just that style, with Gunther, I thought it was well done. I enjoyed the match. Please take care, have a good one, and let me know how did you feel about the show. Woo! And baby, I can't wait to watch WWE SummerSlam Night 2 today. And then also SummerSlam, it is in my home, my home state, New Jersey. And I was gonna go with my friend Stewie, and we were thinking about it. We said, you know what, let's get tickets because MetLife Stadium is East Rutherford. That's like an hour and some change from me. And 3 weeks, we said, you know what, let's get tickets. Then 2 weeks before the show, 1 week before the show, we said, you know what, we're going to just stay home. Because with that traffic and all that stuff, it would have been a lot of chaos. But yes, please take care and have a good one.